The affair was the focus of the Millette murder trial today. I'll take you back inside the courtroom with how this office romance even all came out before Maya disappeared.
Today, the San Diego City Council is choosing what to keep and what to cut in next year's fiscal budget. I have more from council chambers.
We continue to work for you. A Lakeside man says that he was given 3 parking tickets that were bogus. Now the Sheriff's Department has dismissed all of his tickets.
The U.S. Postal Service is sounding the alarm about dog bites on mail carriers, where San Diego ranks, and what dog owners can do to keep them safe.
The United States men's national team is closing in on their first World Cup match of 2026 this Friday. A report from Irvine, California, coming up.
A southern hemisphere swell hitting San Diego beaches today. What the conditions might be like for surfers and swimmers.
Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. Several of Maya Millette's co-workers took the stand on what's now day 13 of the Larry Millette murder trial.
They testified today about accusations of an affair. Our Jenny Day joins us live to break down what happened in court. Jenny?
So this does get a little complicated, but the man who admitted to having an affair with Maya, it came out in court today that it was actually his mother-in-law, his now former mother-in-law, who first brought these suspicions of an affair to the Navy, their employer. It's his wife's mother, again, who they say was sending anonymous emails and voicemails to a lot of the higher-ups, as well as Larry, Maya's husband, who is now accused of killing her.
The affair between Supervisor Maya Millette and her subordinate, Jamie Laird, the focus of the Millette murder trial Tuesday. Bosses and coworkers from the Navy's Southwest Regional Maintenance Center testifying someone called and emailed reporting their relationship. An investigation was launched. Both Maya and Jamie denied it, and it was seen as a misunderstanding 11 months before she vanished. Now, 9 months after Maya went missing, Jamie did come forward admitting he lied. Before that, though, those on the witness stand say the very private Maya came to them the day before she disappeared, shaking, crying, saying she was divorcing Larry and worried he would try to ruin her professionally. Emails were shown on a large screen showing Larry reached out to Maya's bosses, asking for another man to be assigned to another division, writing, "I apologize for the awkwardness of the situation, but it's putting a strain on our relationship." We also heard more of Maya's own words, emails to a close coworker and friend 8 days before prosecutors alleged she was killed, where she writes, "I've decided to file for divorce. I've suffered the consequences of my quietness and indifference. It's time to take back my home."
There's no evidence.
An investigator from the district attorney's office was also back on the stand talking about what he found on Larry's cell phone. He says screenshots of Jamie Laird's social media and emails to spellcasters requesting death spells. Larry spending more than $1,500 in 4 months to, quote, destroy the enemy, asking to banish Laird from their lives and bind Maya to him forever. I'll remind you, she disappeared January 7th, 2021. This investigator testified as her family searched for her January 9th. Larry was searching pornography sites.
And again, there were hundreds of these emails to these spellcasters, make Maya his sex slave or make her so sick she has to depend on Larry. This investigator read them one by one, saying they became more desperate and more violent the closer we got to the day that she disappeared. He will be back on the stand tomorrow, another heavy day. And I'll remind you, we are still expected to hear from the man at the center of this affair. Live in Chula Vista, Jenny Day, News 8.
Thanks, Jenny. It is official. Democrat Javier Becerra will take on Republican Steve Hilton in November to decide who will be California's next governor.
The race was called just over an hour ago. According to the latest ballot drop, Steve Hilton will advance to the November runoff with about 2.1 million votes. He has a 200,000 vote lead over Democrat Tom Steyer. That's with 91% of the vote reporting.
After contentious budget negotiations, the San Diego City Council is deciding what to cut and what to keep to make up a $118 million budget shortfall.
News 8's Alex Cheney was in the City Council chamber and joins us live with more. Alex.
Yeah, Carlo, well, after a couple hours of public comment, we are finally at the stage where the city council is doing their thing. It has been a packed, very busy day today in the city council chambers. Now, they are making up for that budget shortfall. This is not new. We were here just last year talking about an even bigger budget shortfall. Over the last year, the city council has had several proposals to make up for that budget. A lot of those didn't work. Some of those getting repealed just recently. So now the city and the city council and the mayor have to come together to find a new plan to balance the budget.
It's another year of tough budget negotiations for the city council as core services are pitted against arts and culture.
Get the flock out, get the flock out, get the flock out.
Several public commenters want the city to cancel the $2 million contract for ALPR flock cameras, license plate reading technology, which they say is an invasion of privacy.
The data tracking, the mass surveillance and stalking. I'm pleading with you to cancel your contract with Flock. Allocate those funds and resources to the youth instead.
Mayor Gloria's initial budget proposal faced immediate pushback for gutting the city's art and culture program from $11.8 million to just $2 million. A coalition of council members want to bring back arts funding, shifting millions of dollars from the convention center to the city's Park and Recs program.
When arts funding is cut, jobs are lost, opportunities disappear, and communities suffer.
Another battle is the city making more cuts to the Parks and Recs program. City council members want to cut some police funding to make that money back.
Then cancel Flock and allocate more funds for libraries, parks, stormwater infrastructure, and the Office of Child and Youth Success.
Cuts to stormwater infrastructure are also unpopular. The city's fire department is against the cut ahead of more heavy storms expected next winter.
Now, City Council is talking right now. They did have one vote earlier to approve the budget. However, that one was not approved. They're going to keep going, have several other motions before eventually they will have a decision. They have until June 15th to finalize a budget. We're still waiting on whatever they decide tonight. Reporting live from Alex Cheney. Back over to you.
Thank you, Alex. A Lakeside man who reached out to News 8 after racking up parking tickets that he just couldn't explain and couldn't contest. So we investigated, and the county doubled down.
But tonight, there is a new ending to this story. News 8's Abby Black is working for you to explain.
In May, Dan Scott came to News 8 after getting slapped with 3 parking tickets that he says were bogus in Lakeside. Well, we started working for you and found out that he was right. Now the sheriff's department has dismissed all of his tickets and his neighbors.
At your request.
When Dan Scott opened 3 letters from the sheriff's office, he wasn't sure what to expect.
I thought it was going to say denied. But when I had to read it twice, and I thought, am I seeing that right?
It was clear.
It has been determined that the parking violation should be dismissed in the interest of justice. These are the parking violations.
In May, Scott reached out to News 8 after getting hit with 3 parking tickets on Julian Avenue near Channel Road in Lakeside, in a spot he insisted was legal and couldn't contest online.
Just can't find it, and I tried for 30 days.
We did our own digging, checking the California Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices, and found he was right. The arrow on a no parking sign points toward the restricted zone, but the sheriff's office doubled down, saying the tickets were valid.
A few days after the last interview, there was another 10 tickets given out here.
Scott submitted a written appeal and waited.
I wonder about the rest of the people. There has to be at least 50, 75, possibly 100 tickets that's been issued here.
Today, I followed up with the sheriff's office and shared their response with Scott.
Upon review of the roadway and associated signage, it was determined that the parking is allowed in a small section in the 12,300 block of Julian Avenue.
That's what I wanted to see, that they did talk to their people in their team and said, okay, we were wrong, they were right. That's basically what that's saying. That's sweet. That's better than the letters they sent me.
But Scott still has one fight left. One ticket hit his DMV record before he could contest it.
And so I'll have to go into DMV and show them the letters, and hopefully they'll take the fine off of there.
As for the tickets, the sheriff's office says that deputies have been briefed and drivers on that stretch of Julian Avenue should not see citations like these again.
Yes, and I want to thank News 8 for coming out and doing this story. I think it did help quite a bit. I think it brought some attention to some people.
Working for you in Lakeside, Abby Black, News 8.
Thanks so much, Abby. Knew you would get to the bottom of that. You can find more Working for You stories on our CBS 8 app, download on your TV, and watch for free. A massive south swell brought some of the biggest surf Southern California has seen this year.
It's creating amazing conditions for experienced surfers, but it's also dangerous, leading to a beach hazard statement. Our Steffi Roche joins us live from Wind and Sea Beach in La Jolla. And Steffi, what's it like out there right now? I know it was pumping earlier today.
It was pumping, and the beach, it is still packed with people. The water, not so much. But like you guys said, if you are an inexperienced swimmer or a beginner surfer like myself, today is definitely not the day to get out in this water. Now, that powerful southern hemisphere swell, it is triggering those massive waves you're seeing and rip currents. Experts say we can expect 4 to 7 foot surf with dangerous sets up to 8 feet and a high risk of rip currents. You can expect to see an increased number of lifeguards at San Diego beaches as well. I actually caught up with a lifeguard sergeant with the city of San Diego to learn more.
Beaches in the city that pick up the southwest swells are going to be the busiest. So up here in La Jolla, down at Wind and Sea, the guards here, they'll probably end up making upwards of 30 rescues today, and more of the same the rest of this week as the swell continues.
This swell will peak today and slowly subside on Thursday. And just in the last 15 minutes that we've been out here at Wind and Sea, we actually saw lifeguards go out and rescue probably about 5 people that were caught in a rip current out there. So there's a lot of people still on the beach out here, but definitely hazardous conditions out here. And I would say I probably come to Wind and Sea maybe once a week recreationally, and I am seeing more lifeguards here today than I really ever do. So they are clearly needed today throughout San Diego County. But I'll send it back to the desk.
Thanks, Steffi. It is a weather impact alert day because of those big waves and the rip currents hitting our beaches.
Such a temptation, so beautiful outside. But let's check in with News 8's chief meteorologist, Carlene Chavis, with more on these waves.
Yeah, the waves are big, very tempting. You want to be out there. It's absolutely gorgeous. And we're also talking about warmer temperatures in our forecast. But when we look at the beach hazard statement, there have been some modifications. So we're talking about that surf being up to about 4 to 7 feet with sets up to 9 feet. And also strong risk rip currents will be present right there along our coastline. So as mentioned in Steffi's story, inexperienced beachgoers, you are advised to stay out of the water. Now, if you do get caught in a rip current, if you are out there, just keep in mind you're advised to yell out for help, but not entirely panic, because if you do start to swim against it, that could actually exhaust you. So the best thing for you to do is swim parallel to the shore, always be near those lifeguards, and know your own limits. We'll go ahead and take a look at your complete forecast because temperatures are warming up around here. Coming up, back to you.
Thanks, Carlene. The deadline for most state employees to return to the office is almost here.
More on the ongoing battle between Governor Newsom and labor unions next.
Plus, how CAL FIRE's new firefighting tools helped stop the wildfire in Sorrento Valley yesterday.